In a tomb of magnetic tape and copper wire, Elias Thorne sought the sounds that history had tried to bury.
Obsession has a rhythm of its own, a steady pulse that drives a man into the dark. He had spent months hunting for the final experiment, a legend whispered in the darkest corners of the underground. At first, there was only the hiss of age, the sound of time itself scratching at the door. But as the signal was cleaned, a pattern emerged. Not a heartbeat, but the sound of something heavy dragging through dry leaves. The geometry of the sound was wrong. It didn't flow, it bit into the silence. The speakers didn't just emit the sound, they exhaled it, carrying the scent of ozone and wet earth. Then the world vanished. It wasn't that the machine stopped. It was as if the sound itself had been erased from the air. He reached to kill the power, but the silence had become a physical weight, pinning him to the spot.
On the screen, the static began to hunger. It took a shape that Elias recognized too late.
His eardrums throbbed with a dull, agonizing heat. He tried to breathe, but the air remained perfectly, terrifyingly still. The frequency had become a vacuum, a predator that fed on the very vibrations of his life. The recording was no longer coming from the speakers. It was vibrating within his own teeth, within his very frame. It was never meant to be heard. It was meant to be fed, and Elias was the feast. As the last light died, Elias Thorne realized the truth. Sound is not just movement, it is life, and he had none left. The marrow in his bones began to hum at a frequency that didn't belong to the